What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 7 of the Hoops and Hangouts podcast. It's your host, the host of the podcast, Coop, and I'm there with my boy Mike. Glad to see you, bro. Good to see you, bro. I see you got a haircut, so you're looking all sharp for the shot today. I see. Looking good.
I had to get a haircut. It was time, so growing it out. I'm growing my winter coat, so and in summer I'll shave it off.
It's the right time for it, for sure. But let's get started, bro. We gotta. What happened? All good. We got a lot. 100%.
We got a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to get through. We're gonna talk about a little bit of NFL today because we haven't really spoke NFL, but it's playoff time right now currently. So with that being said, it's actually already to start the playoff. We had wild card weekend this past weekend, and we also have, I think there's one more matchup tonight. Yeah, we have one more matchup tonight.
The Vikings versus Rams. That's the last game for we'll know the final 8.
So before anything, I want to just get your take on the NFL playoffs and who you think will win. We're going to start with wild card weekend. Again, we got the matchup of the Minnesota Vikings, the 5 seed versus the LA Rams, the 4 seed. I think they're playing in Arizona due to the devastation that's happening in California at the moment. So I think it's going to be happening in Arizona. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on who you think is going to win. What do you think the score is going to be and why? You feel me? Real quick.
I'm gonna pick the Vikings tonight. I think the Vikings will win tonight. So that's going to mean the Vikings versus the Eagles will be that matchup to end the final 8. Coming out of NFC, I'm going to pick the Eagles. I am going to pick the Eagles. And then coming out of the AFC, I'm going to pick the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Baltimore Ravens have the most solid. I think it's finally Lamar's time to finally get to a Super Bowl. I'm not sure about winning, but he will get to the Super Bowl at least.
I feel you, bro. I definitely hope that happens, bro. But I'm going to say, at least for tonight's game, I'm going to go against what you said. You said Minnesota. I'm going to go with the LA Rams. They did have home field advantage. They don't quite have the home field advantage, but I really do like that offense they have in Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. I think the quarterback has a wealth of options just to his disposal. I'm not sure who their running back is. It the Williams guy, Kyren Williams?
Yeah, it's Kyren Williams, and he's good. He scores too. He's really good.
He's a really good running back. So I just think on the offensive end, I just see the LA Rams just being hard to stop for that Minnesota defense. That's why I'm going to choose LA. As far as my choice in the AFC, it would be easy for me to say Kansas City, right? They could be the easiest clear thought as a winner. But I think it's Lamar's time, Time after time, he's been knocking on that door constantly over the last few years. And I think this year is the year that he's able to make it happen. I know Kansas City has been in a lot of close games throughout the entire season, and they've been able to finish up top of the whole conference. But I just think to win 3 years in a row, that's hard to do. But I also think at some point in those close games, I feel like it is going to have to switch over to the other side of it, So I just think this is Lamar's year to win. They have Derrick Henry now. They have the running attack. They have an elite offensive attack. Their defense kind of started off a little slow this year, but then they was able to pick it up as the season went and really improved. So I like that. I'm choosing Baltimore to win out of the AFC. And then the NFC. The NFC is a tough one for me because there's just a lot of question marks. The Eagles, I don't really like how the Eagles looked last night against. They got Saquon and they have a lot of weapons, but I just don't really always like how Jalen Hurts looks sometimes. And I know he's recovering from a concussion at the same time, but it's hard for me to choose Detroit. I can't really say in the NFC right now because I really just have to see how Detroit plays because Detroit has endured. They had a lot of injuries that they faced this season.
They had a lot of injuries. That's the only reason why I'm hesitant with Detroit. But I love their makeup of the team. I love their identity. It would make me extremely happy to see Detroit in the Super Bowl. Actually, if I mean, my second favorite team is Baltimore. So if they play against Baltimore, I obviously want Baltimore to win.
Yeah.
But if Detroit would get there against anybody else, I'm full-heartedly putting my heart into Detroit because it's just you never see Detroit like this. Detroit is the equivalent to my Jets in every nature of it is. You know, they never win. They're always losers. And for them to finally be like at the top, I want to see them get there. But the injuries is a lot. It's hard to overcome.
For sure. I will say that coach Dan Campbell, I'll run through a wall for him. If I was a player, I think he's probably the best coach in the NFL right now as you speak. Just the way he's able to galvanize whoever he has. Whoever he has in that locker room, he has been able to
got everything out of those kids.
Yeah, for sure. Say that one more time.
So he got everything out of that team, and then some. Like when he first got there, they only won, I believe, 3 to 5 games. And he told them like, hey, this is going to be a process. Like you guys got to believe in what I'm doing. Like I will not be doing these things if I did not believe that we can get to the place. And every year, 3 to 5. Then they won 9 games. Then they won 12 games last year. This year they won 15 games. So you can just see every year, like he was a man of his word, but he backed everything what he meant. And like you said, he's a great leader of men. He does the punishment with the men. I've seen videos and clips of him doing up downs. As a person who plays football, up downs are not fun, but he has done it with the linemen because you go off sides and he's a man of his word. He's like, listen, if I'm going to punish you guys, I'm gonna do the punishment with us. We're all gonna get punished together. It's just I just feel like injuries at some point do take a toll on the team. No, if they could somehow survive this gauntlet with the NFC, there's 2 games at the win and get to the Super Bowl. There's a lot of players who will potentially be back in time for the Super Bowl, so they could potentially be not full strength, but close to what the strength should have been the whole time. And they would be, like I said, I would be full-heartedly cheering for them.
I bet, yeah. So what my question to you is: do you give Jaden Daniels any type of chance against them? Jaden Daniels, he's 100%. Obviously, I think he's probably going to be Rookie of the Year right this year. Do you have any chance? Do you give him any chance to potentially upset Detroit?
Yes.
Upset Detroit.
Yeah. Yes, because we have seen this before. So we've seen this one time with last time the Jets was relevant was back in last time they made the playoffs was in 2011, 2012. And that first year, they had a rookie Mark Sanchez. Rookie Mark Sanchez beat teams that he shouldn't have beaten. He won the first game in the wild card. Then he went to the division round. They were supposed to play the Chargers. And at that time, the Chargers was like that team. They had Damian Thompson, Antonio Gates, Phillip Rivers. They had all these, Vincent Jackson. They had all these studs. And they were supposed to blow the Jets out. And with a rookie, Mark Sanchez, they beat them and got to the AFC Conference Championship. Now, they fell short to the Baltimore Colts. Wow. To the Indianapolis Colts. But just because someone's a rookie, don't mean they don't have a – it takes in a football game is one slip-up. So if Detroit
Sanchez did it twice, right? He did it. He went to the AFC.
He went back-to-back. Twice. He went his rookie year and his second year.
People be forgetting about that.
We haven't seen the playoffs ever since. But in football, it just takes one slip up. So if Detroit comes flat, or you have like an in-time turnover, or like a fumble, or interception, or maybe a pick six or a fumble recovery, the whole momentum changes. Because all you gotta do, if you give the Commanders confidence, they're going to take it and run with it. So I would say they have a shot. I would say they have a 25%. And 25% is better than what a lot of people is going to give them. So,
okay. Do you see it as this game this weekend being a close game? Kind of do you see like maybe Detroit it being close in the first half and Detroit pulling away? What do you envision for this? Like, what score do you see? Like, how do you see it going?
Prediction wise, I think the Lions will score. They got Jamar Gibbs, they got Jameson Williams, they got Amon St. Brown, Sam Laporta, so they got weapons, so they're going to score. I think it's going to be relatively a high score game. I'm going to say 24. I'll say 24-18. 24-18 Detroit. Okay. So I think Detroit will have 24 points. And then I'll say Washington get to about 18. They'll score maybe 2 touchdowns, hit a field goal, 17, maybe a safety somewhere in there, but they'll get around there.
Okay, I 100% agree. You just know how I feel about Dan Campbell, and I trust
No,
you
he's
because you're
good.
my football guy. Like I know you definitely know more about football than me, but you're my football guy, so I trust you for sure. All right, let's switch it up. Let's go to the AFC, right? So the AFC, for the divisional weekend, we also have Houston playing the number one seed Kansas City. So let's talk about that real quick.
That was,
Do you give Houston
that was
any
your team.
chance?
You still.
Yeah, I know. I was high on CJ Stroud, and he kind of let me down this year. I'm not gonna lie. I also talked about it earlier this year. I was like, is he gonna continue to develop, or is he gonna have a sophomore slump? But I know he's had to also deal with a number of injuries this year as well. I know Nico Collins was out for a majority of the season, and he came back. And I know he lost Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs, so he lost some key offensive weapons. But they still got Joe Mixon, and they still got Nico Collins, who I feel like will keep them in the game enough. But I just think them going into Kansas City, I'll have a little bit more confidence if they were playing in Houston. But them going into Arrowhead, I just know that crowd is going to be rocking, and Andy Reid is also. I just said Dan Campbell the best coach, but Andy Reid is arguably the second or even the best coach himself. So it's just tough. And
Well, he has to be number one right now.
Yeah. Right now it has to be Andy Reid. So yeah, I think Houston, just the injuries, I don't know if they're going to be able to overcome it this weekend. So that's where I stand. I'm gonna go Kansas City. But the only thing I heard, what? Say what you're gonna say.
Well, I said I don't give Houston a shot. I'm not gonna lie to you. They did play well against the Chargers, but the Chiefs currently right now are what the Patriots were in the past. They might not be. I think Texas are actually more talented than the Chiefs currently constructed right now, but it's something about their aura. So like when teams play the Patriots, I feel like many teams could have beaten the Patriots, but the Patriots came up with such aura, such like it's like, oh, they're the Patriots. That teams end up shrinking to the pressure of playing them. I feel like that's what the Chiefs are currently right now. I feel like teams shrink down to the pressure of playing Kansas City. And then, like, if it's a close game, it's like, all right, it's 21-18, and the Chiefs have the ball in the final possession. Oh, no, let's change it. It's 21-21. It's tied. Chiefs got the ball at the end of the game. You know what everybody's going to feel? Oh, they're going to score. They're gonna get the field goal. They're gonna win. And then the teams end up doing the exact same thing. What they feel like that doubt in the heart. There's not that many teams that like you have to almost punk Kansas City, but not everybody punks them. So I don't think Houston built that way.
Yeah, I agree. And Houston didn't end the season off that well either. Like that's why I was honestly shocked that they beat the Chargers, because I originally chose the Chargers to win that game.
I chose the Chargers too.
Yeah, but hey, they proved me wrong. I just don't think they're gonna have enough, especially going into Arrowhead. The more exciting matchup that I'm excited about, right, is that Baltimore-Buffalo matchup. That matchup gonna be fire,
great game.
Straight up, bro. It's gonna be a great game. I'm excited. That's the main game that I'm looking forward to this weekend. I know you already said you have Baltimore winning this year. Just expand on why you have them specifically winning this game and what score you have them winning by.
Yeah. So for what I've seen with Baltimore, their defense has been slacking. They have not been the Ray Lewis defense of the past. I've grown to love Ray Lewis, every Terrell Suggs, all them boys. But their defense, in my opinion, has played better towards the end of the season compared to what they played in the beginning of the season. And I just feel like Lamar and Derrick Henry are unstoppable. Because now it's cold, so when it gets colder, those hits hurt more. When you're outside in the elements and you get hit, and when you have somebody who's 270 pounds of pure muscle, 6'5", running at you, you start making self-conscious business decisions. Like, do I really want to be on this highlight tape? Do I really want to get stiff arm? Do I really want to get trucked? Derrick Henry is a whole nother that's the X factor to me. This is the reason why I'm picking Baltimore, because we know what Lamar does. So the problem is, if you stack the middle to stop the run, then you leave Zay Flowers open, Mark Andrews open, Isaiah Likely. You leave all these tight ends and wide receivers open, which Lamar picks off. Now, if you keep it open, now Lamar has if you open up the middle, now Lamar has a choice. Like, oh, do I want to just give it to Derrick Henry? All right, give to Derrick Henry, he runs up the middle. Or I can keep it and hit the outside. And Lamar Jackson is faster than Derrick Henry. So how do you cover that? Where do you have that time to cover? You don't have it. So the only reason why the Ravens tend to lose their game is they play out of the system they need to play. If they play smash mouth, we're gonna run the ball down your throat. You can't stop that. I think they had over close to almost 300 rushing yards on the Steelers. And the Steelers has always been known for defense. And they took them completely out the game. So I just feel like there's too much weapons on that, and Josh Allen's going to have to be Superman to win the game. And sometimes Superman just gets too tired; he can't do it all. So,
yeah, I feel that. I got another question for you. So, with that being said, because this is also not only like a playoff matchup, but this is also kind of like the MVP matchup, right? So, do you This wasn't on the agenda, but like, who's your MVP this season? And do you think like the winner of this game will most likely determine that, or you think it's already determined? And who's your thoughts on MVP?
It's already determined because the MVP is a regular season award. I don't know when they vote for it, so they shouldn't use their bias. I think they're going to give it to Josh Allen only because Lamar is going to start getting the little bit of the LeBron treatment since he has now won 2. Like Lamar has 2 MVPs. I think Patrick Mahomes only has 1, if I'm correct. And they've been talking about Josh Allen being Superman for like all year. So I think they're going to give it to Josh Allen this year because it just looks nice to give it to Josh Allen. But if I think Lamar is going to outshine him this game, I really do.
Okay, I hear you.
So, and Lamar would be my MVP. But, I don't think he's going to get it.
I think, I agree with you that I think they're going to give it to Josh Allen. I would say, a little bit of like that LeBron effect that we talked about and like kind of what Jokic is going through. But I just think, Lamar has more of the stats, but I think Josh will have a little bit more of the narrative behind it, right? He doesn't necessarily have the number 1 receiver. Although I kind of consider Amari Cooper a semi number 1 receiver. Like he's not at an elite level.
In his prime.
He's not as good as he used to.
Yeah, in his prime.
But I just think he kind of just did more with less. And to carry them as the number 2 seed in a very I believe the AFC is the more tougher conference, especially in the AFC, to carry them with less and do more with less. I think you should definitely give it to Josh Allen for sure. Yeah.
Like I said, the narrative was already there from the very beginning. And Lamar had something like, I don't think he really had bad games, but the Ravens looked bad for a good part of the season. And then on top of that, Chiefs technically have 2 losses, but their only other loss really the real loss came to the Bills. And I feel like that game and that performance and stuff like that, they're going to give it to Josh Allen. I think he does deserve it still. You could also even make an argument for Joe Burrow. If the Bengals record was good, Joe Burrow had been right up there. And, to be honest with you, I would give a vote. It doesn't have to be a first or second place vote, but I would give a 3rd place vote or 4th place vote to Jaden Daniels for what he did with the Commanders. Commanders won 12 games this year.
Yeah,
number 2. They was the number 2 pick last year, and they won 12 games. He deserves at least a vote, not first or second, but give him a 3rd or 4th place. I can definitely respect that.
100%.
Or Saquon. Saquon could also. I think.
I was just about to ask about Saquon. Yeah, like he didn't break the record, but he came damn near close to it, right?
He should have broke the record. If he broke the record, he would have won MVP. But he
should have. They should have played him in that last game. I get it, but they should have played him that last game.
It's poetic. You're going against the Giants. You just need 100 yards. He was going to get it in the first quarter.
They had all the narratives. I'm like, against the Giants, bro. He would have got it, bro. Because the Giants,
he would have got
the Giants.
Giants was gonna stop him. And it's poetic justice. Like it's like Giants, you reap what you sow. Like you deserve to get the record broken on you by the guy that you said was not. You're not gonna give $20 million to a running back. So
full circle.
He should have went for the record because I know this off topic real quick, but it's just like people understand with running backs. That his performance he did this year is not going to be replicated next year. Like it's very rare when you get to 2,000 rushing yards. Like so people can't act like he's just going to do it again next year. No, he's not, because you don't know if he gets injured or the offense might change or the line might not be as good or people might
not even come close in the next 10 years. But
Yeah,
I was saying it might not
I
even
don't see
come close to any.
none of that.
No one's
He
gonna
might.
touch. No one's gonna touch that record. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was like the moment, and I hear the Eagles. I get it. You got bigger goals. Like, so if he got hurt, like everybody would have killed the coach. But as a player, as a person, sometimes you got to be a little bit selfish. Like, nah, I want this record, because at the end of the day, no one's not going to remember he ran over 2,000 yards. Everybody's going to remember that he's the all-time rushing leader of all time. That goes with your whole career. So I don't know, man.
Part of me almost wishes like Saquon is a little bit more selfish. Like even this weekend when I know the Eagles had the game in the bag. Like
he should have scored.
He could have broke out and won. He just slid. I'm like, oh, he always doing
his
that.
whole teammates yelled at him. His teammates yelled at him. They're like, why don't you score? He's like, nah. Which AJ I respect. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, I get it. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith was giving him shit on the side, bro. Like they wasn't letting him.
Yeah.
Man, I just want him to be selfish sometimes, but I respect it, bro. It's good.
Sometimes he just gotta show people that he's that dude, and which he is. We all know he's that dude, but he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. I respect it.
I honestly just wish the Giants never gave him up, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But what we will talk about right now is we're gonna switch over to the NBA. You know, hoops and hangouts. You feel me? So we're gonna talk about your team. We're gonna start out today talking about your team. Currently, the Knicks are in third place in the East. They're 26-14. Yep. I just had a question for you because the trade deadline is coming up. There's been some debate about whether Tom Thibodeau has been overplaying the starters too much. I just want your thoughts. Should the Knicks make a trade before the trade deadline this season?
Well, they will make a trade. That 100%.
So what do you see them going, and what do they need?
To be honest with you, I know people say we need defense, but we need I think we need another we need a center. Besides Carl, we need another center. Jericho Sims gotta get traded. Jericho Sims been on this team for too damn long. And for him, I watch sometimes he gets rebounds. I'm like, Jericho, just keep the ball up. I was taught this, and I was never I played big man because I was just happy to be told, and a lot of kids I was running. They always told me, when you get the rebound, keep that ball up and just go back. But Jericho Sims be in the paint, he'll bring it back down, he'll get stripped. Jericho Sims gotta go. I want Harko Pirtle to play, but that's just Tom. I get it, you don't play rookies. But the Knicks need a stretch. They need another center just like Carl, so you can flow the offense the same way. I think they need another stretch center who they can flow it perfectly the same way. Ideal candidates, because I know this is part. We'll never get him, but Wendell Carter Jr., I would love to have had him. No, because I honestly don't see. I don't see how Mitchell Robinson fits on this team. I know everybody's saying like he come back and play defense, and then you play Carl as the four. But I do generally enjoy the lineup of a Brunson, Hart, Mikal, Hart, OG, and Carl lineup. I think that lineup does work. I think that lineup works really well. It's just when Carl gets in foul trouble and then you throw Jericho Sims in there, the lineup gets all wonky. Or you throw Precious Achua in and it gets wonky. And I like Precious, but I don't think Precious is a 5 either. I think Precious is another 4. But you can't have a bench lineup of Precious and Mitchell Robinson in the same lineup because they ain't gonna be no damn scoring from the post. So they need a stretch. They need like a stretch center, or a 4. I guess if you want to move Precious to 5 and have a 4. Who can they get? I mean, go ahead. No, I was saying in my dream. Hear me out. If there was some way they can work this money out, in my dream, I don't know how this will happen. The Knicks. If Phoenix was willing to, not Phoenix, sorry. If Arizona was not, I'm tripping. I'm sorry. If Portland was willing, to suck up most of the money, right, and let him get him off the team because they want to go to the youth movement, I would like to have DeAndre Ayton on the New York Knicks, and he comes off the bench.
That means, but
I would like to have DeAndre.
Hear that? That's a dream. But I mean, you would have to give up some assets for that, bro. And I feel like. I don't only like
I said, if they was like, I want to go youth movement, I want to give her. If they was like, all right, we'll take some seconds, we'll take like Jericho Sims, and I don't want to give up Daddy A, but you can give up Daddy A and like
Mhm.
Precious Achua in like 3 seconds somehow. And they said they'll absorb most of the money because we don't have the salary cap to do all that. But they said they'll absorb most of the money because they just want to get off of the Ayton contract. I think Ayton would fit phenomenal with the Knicks as a second team coming off the bench, or get rid of Mitch Robinson, but they're not taking Mitch
Mhm.
Robinson.
Okay. So
But
yeah, that was my
Ayton,
next question. Would you
Kuzma,
trade Mitchell Robinson? Yeah. Kuzma's out there, and
yeah,
I
I'm
know
trading
he's
Mitch
going to
Robinson.
stay blocked. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna
I'm
just give
trading
my
Mitchell.
own
Mitchell can't stay healthy.
for sure, and I agree with you 100%. I think they do need to make a trade, particularly for another big, because they do have bigs off the bench, right? Precious Achua, Jericho Sims, Mitchell Robinson. But the one thing about that, right, is these bigs pretty much do all the same shit, bro. Like they all do all the same things. They're just rebounders and that's about and defensive players and shot blockers and but they
Barely
provide
defensive
nothing.
players. They give nothing, no offensive threat whatsoever. I've seen Precious Achua clank threes off the side of the rim too many times, hitting the side of the backboard too many times.
Yeah.
I'm like, Precious, stop taking that shot. I've not once seen Precious hit a three this season.
And the way I see it is like, in order to win, like really win a championship and be a contenders, you need dudes or guys or a team to be able to win in multiple ways, right? To have 3 centers on your team that pretty much do all the same stuff, like I think it's gonna make the Knicks limited. And I feel like Tom Thibodeau is gonna realize that come the playoff time, and again continue to overplay the starters. So I just think the Knicks just need a little bit more flexibility coming off the bench. So I think they should make a trade. And I agree with you. I think it should be like a stretch big. I think it could be somebody that plays both the 5 and the 4, who can still rebound but also stretch the floor and hit shots. So I 100% agree. Because one thing about the Knicks, and in that Eastern Conference, you will have to hit shots, right? Boston, you're gonna have to hit shots because they're gonna hit shots too, and they're gonna play decent defense. The Cavs, you're gonna have to hit shots because the Cavs are gonna have a really good, because they're a good defensive team. So you're gonna have to hit shots, and at some point in the playoffs, they're gonna try and exploit your weaknesses. I know the Celtics for a fact are gonna try and exploit the weaknesses, right? In a matchup against the Celtics. What I notice the Celtics do a lot is they typically pick on offense. They typically pick on one player and they do switches. They do a good job of switching, getting the right matchups that they want. On defense, they do a good job of like doubling the right players. So I feel like if they were to play this, I'm just using the Celtics because they won the East last year. Say they double Jalen Brunson, right? Or you double Cat. What they tend to do, they tend to force the players that you don't want to shoot, they force them to shoot. So I feel like a lot of times they're gonna force those Mitchell Robinsons, those Precious Achuas, those Jericho Sims to win the game. So I think they have a lot of versatility in the starting lineup, but off the bench, I think the Knicks just need a little bit more versatility and players that could do.
They just need anybody who can just remotely just be like. What was great about Isaiah Hartenstein, and like I said, and of course he wanted to stay, but obviously I don't blame him. You go get your money, you get your money with a good team too. What I did appreciate about Hartenstein is the fact that Hartenstein was not an offensive threat, but occasionally he'll get the rebound, and then if he needs to, he had a low-key unstoppable floater. He would just always do that little push floater, and like that just enough. Just like those 2 points is enough. Like, he'll get a rebound, he'll go back up and try to score. Like, just Jericho Sims doesn't try. He doesn't. He is the Ben Simmons S of our team. He does not try at all to score anything. It's not even a layup. And he's 6'11". So if you get a rebound, just go back up. If you get fouled, you miss a free throw, I can live with that. I really can live with that. At least, you put some fouls, people get in foul trouble, I can live with that. But damn, bro, he don't even try.
Yeah, my thing with Jericho Sims is he's just, and I'm not trying to get on here to just shit on Jericho Sims, but he's just very like limited on the offensive end. Like I literally seen like one game and they're playing and like Jericho Sims get the rebound out of the hoop. And I think I don't even remember who they was playing, but the other team was pretty much like face guarding the guard and like wasn't trying to allow the guard to get the ball. So Jericho Sims had to take the ball up. And this man struggled so hard to get that ball past half court. When I saw that, I'm like, damn. Like, I don't think
his game is just so limited.
Super limited. I'm not saying he's not good. Any player in the NBA is good, but his game is just super limited, bro. All right. Yeah. But how you feeling overall about the season so far, though? You still confident?
The next season? Yes. I feel like I think the Knicks are exactly where they are. I don't want to hear that they play too many minutes. I don't want to hear all that nonsense. Because it is what it is. That's a Tom Thibodeau team. They're gonna get burnt out in the end of the season. We'll see. I mean, he's gotten to Eastern Conference Finals, and it is what it is. Tom Thibodeau likes his guys, and to be honest with you, I think those guys need the damn minutes to keep playing with each other because we're figuring out cohesion. And Mikal Bridges, he needs his time to figure out his shot, so he got to play every goddamn minute because he don't know. Some days his shots is beautiful, some days his shot is just broken. So. Yeah. I be honest, my personal problem with Mikal Bridges' shot right now is he's not jumping high enough. He jumps a little bit. He's not getting enough lift, and he already has like a high point where he holds the ball in a high release, but he's not getting enough lift. If he gets a little bit more higher in the jump shot, they will go in. It's just every time he shoots his three, it always clings off the front of the rim. It just shows you that he's just not getting enough lift. So, but overall, I think the Knicks are where they need to be. I think the third seed was where I thought they would be. Karl Anthony Towns is the MVP candidate in my opinion. He needs to lead in rebounds again, and then he just showed that everybody thought he was soft, but he's shown that he's not as soft as people say. I also don't think he gets enough foul calls. That's another thing I'm not going to get on. I think he gets hacked a lot. Granted, he complains and cries too much to me, but he does get fouled a lot. He does not get the same treatment. Like, I was watching the Bucks game. Giannis got every damn foul call, and I was losing my goddamn mind. And Embiid to this day still gets every foul call, and I lose my mind. And Karl does not get the same treatment as them. So that's just my opinion. I think but they are right where they need to be. They just have to beat the upper echelon teams now. They handle their business with the lower teams, but they need to be, and the teams are 500. But the top teams, like the top 3 seed teams of each conference, they need to finally start stacking those wins to gain confidence.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But I think the Knicks are in a good place. You know, I think if they make a trade, they're right there in the conversation. They are contenders, but I think it's going to set them up that much more. All right. So we're going to move on. I'm going to be honest, this next topic, and we kind of asked about this last episode, and I couldn't really give you too much because I just think I was just so emotional last episode, and I just couldn't really put together thoughts on how, because it was so new to me, I just couldn't put together thoughts, and I was just in my feelings and stuff like that. I just wasn't in a good place, right? I'm in a better place right now. I just want to say I've been able to reflect and think about just the things that was going on in this Heat organization this year. And I want to say, all in all, from the beginning, I have always been an advocate of giving Jimmy Butler his money and paying Jimmy Butler and giving him his money. And mostly because he carried us to 2 NBA finals in the last 6 seasons. He's carried us to 3 Eastern Conference finals. And just his impact on the team has just been really great, you know, especially carrying the teams. Most of those teams we were never expected to even make it that far. The first year in the bubble when we made it, we was a 5th seed, you know. But at the same time, right, I do understand Pat Riley's side, right? I do understand that Jimmy Butler, if you look at his last few seasons, every season his points per game has gone down. We have started to see his decline. You can argue he's taking less shots. Yes, we're starting to give Tyler Herro the ball more as of now. But I feel like it's just faults on both sides. Like, I wouldn't want to pay Jimmy Butler close to $50 million a year at the old age of 35. Plus, he's also clearly on a decline. Plus, all the other antics and things that come along with it sometimes it kind of makes it difficult. And plus, he hasn't really been super healthy over the last few years. But at the same time, as I said, he's also helped us to get to 3 NBA finals and 2 NBA finals and Eastern Conference finals. I did have a thought. Just my other thought on this is the Heat. We don't do drama, man. Like, I'm not used to this, man. Just all the drama. We don't deal with drama, man. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. I did have another thought, but I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well,
but what are your thoughts?
This is a prime example of It's not what have you done for me now compared to what have you done. Like forget what we done for me in the past, but what have you done for me now, right?
Mhm.
So the Heat are going through a dilemma, like you said. Do you pay Jimmy Butler based on what he has done? He has gotten the Heat to 2 NBA Finals, almost got the Heat to a third one if he would have made a 3-pointer to beat the Celtics, and when they would have went to a third Finals.
Yep.
No, he's the heart, he's the soul, he's the culture, and everybody says it. Playoff Jimmy. So Jimmy might not be present as well during the regular season, but when playoffs come, that man elevates his game from he's literally an 18 points per game person in the regular season, and then playoffs come, he's all suddenly a 28, 30-point performance with like 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and like 7 assists somehow. So, but again, like you said, he's 35, and the Heat are now going through a transition of what will this team look like going forward. The problem with the Miami Heat, I think they should have paid him, but the main issue with the Miami Heat was they took too long to pull triggers on certain players. Like they should have gotten Kevin Durant before he went to Phoenix. They should have gotten Damian Lillard before Damian Lillard would probably been a lot more happier in Miami than he would have been in Milwaukee, but he's a pro. The problem with Miami is Miami and Pat Riley, they don't pull the trigger on players. And Jimmy, for years, has said, we need help. And Jimmy has not directly said he probably wants Tyler Hero's butt out of here. But if I had to pick anybody that he would get rid of, it's probably been Tyler Hero. So the Miami Heat has just they've been lazy in terms of getting him another star. I think Jimmy is a great
That's the thing.
I think
the thing. Jimmy has asked multiple times to get his help, right? And I just think, in general, it just stinks because we've seen the Knicks make moves, right? We've seen y'all make moves to get better. We've seen the Celtics make moves to get better. We've seen the Cavs make moves to get better. And it's just all these other, even Philly, even though they're not even winning games as much, we've still seen them make moves to get better. And it's just like, I just feel like everyone in the East has kind of like crept up or like was kind of even with the Heat at one point, or it was lower than the Heat and kind of made moves to get better and just really take them to the next level. And the Heat has just become complacent. That whole Terry Rozier
I don't think it's complacency.
Yeah.
I think low-key, I'm be honest with you, I think it's a little bit of arrogance. If I'm being honest, because you think about the last couple of Heat teams, Max Strus was he got his money, but Max Strus was a part of the Heat's culture. So I feel like, this is my opinion with the Miami Heat, they feel like sometimes that if you come into our system, we are the Miami Heat, that you're going to develop and then you're going to become something. Duncan Robinson was an unknown commodity until he got to the Heat. Max Strus was an unknown commodity. Caleb Martin was an unknown commodity. Well, he was in another team, but he came to Miami Heat and he became a 18 points per game scorer. Who else? There's another person who's slipping my mind. Gabe Vincent was another person that, like, those were players that was within the Heat system and culture. So it's almost as sometimes it's like we don't need to go out and get players or stars because we have such a strong culture and such a strong like building process that we could turn not everyday Joes into somebody's, but like you're going to develop into something great, or not. You might not even be a great player, but you're going to be good enough where you're going to get your bag in the off season. So it was like sometimes I feel like it was just a little bit of arrogance where they was hesitant of trading some of these players because they didn't want to pay the money, or they wanted to keep the salary at a certain point where they feel comfortable. And sometimes you see that you have to dip into the luxury tax, or you have to pay this money. No, so I don't know if that's Pat Riley's problem, or maybe it's the owner's problem.
I 100% agree with what you said, and I think the key thing is what you said is culture, right? Gabe Vincent and Max Strus was a part of the system that worked, right? Max Strus, and you see it, right? Just how the culture and the system works. Yes, it is a winning culture and system, but after a certain point, I feel like other teams are going to start picking up on it. You can't constantly always expect undrafted guys to come into every situation that the Heat has and just be able to continue to and just affect winning in the ways that Gabe Vincent and Max Strus have done in the past, right? But like I said, the system is important. The system, it shows that it works, right? We've seen it in the past, right? When certain players get that bag, get that contract, and then they go to other situations and they don't necessarily succeed, right? Particularly the Lakers, right? A few years ago, we had who we had, Kendrick Nunn, right? Kendrick Nunn was in a Rookie of the Year conversation his first season, right? He leaves, goes to the Lakers. What happened when he gets to the Lakers,
Not,
bro?
not.
And where
He's
he at
bad.
right now?
He's bad. I think he's out the league.
Yeah, overseas.
I think he's overseas.
Yup. Yeah, he's out the league. And then Gabe Vincent, right? Where'd he go? The Lakers.
The Lakers.
And then that, I mean, I don't know if that's,
I don't know if he's out the league yet either.
I don't know if he's looking like he's gonna be out the league in like the next few years. But I don't know if that's a compliment to the Heat system, or I don't know if that's a negative to the Lakers system. Like how?
No, I think it's 100% I think it's 100% a compliment to the Heat system. But the problem with the Heat, I think sometimes the Heat need to do this. Like when you develop some of these players and they're having like an all-time career season, I think that's sometimes the best time to be like, you know what? So I know people are over breaking chemistry. But let's trade them while we have them on a hot ceiling and budget. Look, Gabe Vincent now a 13 points forward. Kendrick Nunn rookie of the year. Oh snap! We see this guy. Let's part ways. Let's put a little bit more money on our salary. Even maybe get a draft pick. And then because I feel like they can take certain players and put them in that system, and they could turn good players into great players. Like I think they're one of those teams where they could have done it. And like even like someone like, for example, like a Chris Middleton. I'm not saying Chris Middleton needs to go to the Heat, but I think Chris Middleton with the Heat will probably be even more proficient of a player than he was with Milwaukee. It's just like the Heat's culture is so good, and Eric Spoelstra is such a good head coach. He gets the best and then some out of players. And I just think like when you have some of these guys who are overachieving, you should know that in the back of my like, hey, they ain't really that damn good as we think they are when they go elsewhere. So let's kind of start packaging some of these players and get much value. And I think that's where I would fell with Tyler Hero. I feel like they could have got some other good players for the cheap if they would be willing to package Tyler Hero. Like, for example, it was one time when the Heat was in talks for Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant didn't want to be in Brooklyn. And the Nets, I think, would have took Tyler Hero because Tyler Hero looked good when he was with Miami. So when he's like, now his stock is at its highest, trade Tyler Hero, trade some first-round draft picks, and get Kevin Durant now with Jimmy and Bam Adebayo, and now you have a great system going on in Miami.
Do you have like not a new big three, but do you think Pat Riley's washed?
I think Pat Riley. I think he's stuck in his ways.
Yeah, I don't want to say he's washed, but I think there's an element of him that like he's a little hard-headed, right? So I think
hard-headed.
I think he might have went into those trade talks talking about, because I think in his mind he never really like. It was in discussions, at least particularly in Portland, to trade Tyler Hero. But I think in his mind, I think he really thinks like he's that dude because I'm Pat Riley. I can try and keep Hero, and I can try and sell these other players that nobody really wants in order to get like a KD or get like a Dame Lillard, right? Because I think he tends to come in which is why I think this Jimmy Butler trade is taking so long as well, because I think they said.
And then on top of that. What he also messed up with the whole Jimmy Butler thing is, I hear that Jimmy Butler goes on a press conference and says like, yeah, I don't want to be here. I'm not happy. I don't have to join here. But damn, you don't suspend the player because now you suspend him, so now you're even lowering his value even more. They know you have to get rid of Jimmy. So why are you now expecting to get from Jimmy when you know he doesn't want to be there? Yeah. And he's not taking his option next year, and he wants a contract. So whoever trades for him knows they have to give him a contract extension the moment they trade for him. And you suspend him, so you just lower his value more. So it's like certain GMs, I just see in the NBA, certain GMs are either they stock up on draft picks like Sam Presti, and you give like 400 draft picks, but then eventually you got to pay all these players you drafted. And so what the team's going to look like, there's no point in having all these draft picks if you're not going to trade the draft picks to get a star within your team. Or you have GMs like Pat Riley and Danny Ainge who think they can stronghold teams with certain players because they feel like they can get the best value, or they feel like they're smarter than everybody, which is not true. And Pat Riley's championships came from when he struck deals in free agency to get LeBron and Chris Bosh there. And then you gave him the bag, but listen, those are 3 stars, and then what you did with the roster, we'll figure out from there. At least we have these 3. We can find cheap players to get and make them good. Chris Anderson, Mario Chalmers was good. They did certain things. Then you eventually got Ray Allen the following season. So it's just like some GMs just think they're smarter than everybody. Which to be a GM, you got to get there. But then you have to be able to know when it's time to make a trade and when it's not time to make a trade. They should have been traded Tyler Hero. It should have been traded somebody. I would have a decline in Jimmy over anybody. You keep looking at Draymond Green. Draymond Green value is still as high as it ever was for Golden State because he just fits perfectly for them. So they're willing to fork out that money and get rid of Klay Thompson and keep a Draymond because Draymond's value is what it needs to be. He develops that team as much of a head case that he might be.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. So I'm gonna say I agree, man. I'm on the side of paying Jimmy Butler. I will say, since we suspended Jimmy Butler, we went on this West Coast trip. Granted, these weren't great teams. We've been on a 3-game win streak.
I saw the win.
You feel me? I'm liking the rookie Khalil Ware. Khalil Ware starting to get more minutes. He can hit the jump shot consistently. He's a 7-footer. Finally got somebody.
Nikola Jokic.
Jokic has been showing up. Triple J, Jaime Hawkins, they've been showing up. You feel me? The young guys, they're starting to get more minutes. So I do like that aspect of it. I'm interested to see now that I've gotten past the initial emotion that I was feeling. I am excited to see who we able to get back for Jimmy to plug in next to these young guys.
You want to get Bradley Beal?
I don't want fucking Bradley Beal, bro.
That's gonna be a boy, Bradley. Don't get Bradley. Bradley gonna waive his no trade clause. He'll be like, all right, I'll go to Miami. And he'll be in Miami.
I feel like if we wanted Bradley Beal, we could have been got him. But I don't want that contract, bro. The fact that he has a no trade clause, now he's gonna stranglehold us into. If we get him, now we have his contract. He's injury prone. Now we can't trade the motherfucker because he has a no trade clause if we wanted to. So it's just like I don't want him. I told you the last episode. I want Kuminga and Wiggins, but we already went after them, and apparently the Warriors are out. They're not trying to give up both of them. They say either or. So we'll see, man.
Just take Kuminga. You don't want Wiggins. You know how I feel about Wiggins. Wiggins is a bum.
Yeah, Wiggins, he's inconsistent, but I think he could be a good piece, like a defensive piece. But you're right, he's very inconsistent, man. But we'll see, man. I'm not as emotional anymore. We'll see, man. I'm excited to see what we do. All right. So I got a question for you. So I think the 2 first place teams are the Cavs and the Thunder. I believe they both have 5 losses. Now I think the Cavs lost to Indiana last night. I just had a question. Which number 1 seed are you most impressed by? The Cavs or the Thunder?
The Cavs. Because that team could have been the Cavs could have been bad after they got rid of their head coach JB Bickerstaff. Donovan could have left, but Donovan decided that he's going to stay.
I thought you would have said
Garland. There was talks about Garland. No, I'm not picking the Thunder only because we saw the snippets with the Thunders last year, so I'm not surprised with the Thunder. I just want to see the Thunder in the playoffs. No, to be honest with you, I don't think the Thunder. I'm watching the Thunder. And it depends on if Hartenstein is healthy. But if they play against the Lakers again, some team like that with a big man, they're going to lose. Yeah. I think they're going to lose because they're weak in the middle. They're weak in the center position. Now, they just shoot incredibly damn well. They shoot super well. Isaiah Joe hit like 7 threes on the Knicks. And I was like, okay. Off the bench, he hitting 7 threes. Wiggins is hitting threes too. I was like, okay. We're cooked. There's no way. They shoot phenomenally well. But if a team like the Nuggets or like the Lakers, who have like centers prioritize it, they're gonna have problems. But I want to say the Cavs only because they have more turmoil than I thought they would. But Kenny Atkinson came in and he has got that team, playing like the OG Warriors from the 2013 years. Like they look really good. They have great ball movement. Donovan Mitchell have had bad games and they're still winning. And then somehow they figured it out with a 2 big man system because Jared Allen's playing great ball, and Evan Mobley looks great also. So I'm more impressed with the Cavs than I am with the Thunder.
Yeah, for sure. I was hoping you would say the Thunder, because I wanted to say the Cavs too. But yeah, I'm gonna say the Cavs. Most importantly, because like you said, we seen the Thunder do this last year. We seen them claim that number. What are they, number 2 last year? They were the top 3 last year. We know they were the top 3 last year. And we've seen them do it. We just didn't see them do it in the playoffs. You know, we want to see them take that next step in the playoffs is where we're going to see it. But the Cavs, I'm more impressed just because I was looking at stats earlier today, and I'm like, yo, they have one of the higher, like, they have the highest point differential in the East. Like, they're beating teams by double figures on most nights. And like that's where I saw like I'm like most impressed by. Just I think they have a really good defensive team. I think they have a good. I want to say elite backcourt and Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Although Donovan Mitchell he has been very inconsistent to start. And Darius Garland with his ability to play make. But the biggest step I see is in Evan Mobley. I think I told you earlier this season I'm very high on him, and I wanted to see him take that next step. I believe he's averaging 19 points this season. And Jared Allen, I just think they have, like I said, just the versatility that I was talking about earlier to be a championship team, to be able to win in different ways. I think they have that ability. You know, they have the ability to shoot. They have Max Strus who can shoot. They have Karis LeVert who can shoot. They have dudes who can shoot coming off the bench. They have Isaac Okoro who can lock up. So they have defense. And they have also Evan Mobley. So they have a perimeter defender and they also have a post defender and two post defenders in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. So I just think they just have the ability to win in many ways, and they've shown that, you know. So I think I also want to see how they are in the playoffs as well. So that
what frustrates me about what frustrates me real quick with the whole Cavs thing is this just proves to me that if the Nets would have kept Kenny Atkinson, what could they have been? Because it shows that Kenny Atkinson brought an underachieving Brooklyn Nets squad with D'Angelo Russell as a number one player and got them to the playoffs when they was in draft pick hell because they traded all their assets for KG, and Paul Pierce and all of them. What could they have been if they would have kept Kenny Atkinson, the actual coach?
You know what I'm thinking, bro? Like, it's even a better question. What could they have been? Said they never traded for Kyrie, KD, and James Harden, bro. Because like they were on the way up too. Like that's a good point. What could they have been? Because because Kenny Atkinson, I felt like got fired as a result of KD and Kyrie coming in. Like they didn't want him. And then they hired their guy Steve Nash, right? Yep. So I agree with you.
But what could they have been if they were like, you know what? We're coming here. We're gonna trust the system. Like I firmly do believe when LeBron and Chris Bosh got there, like they was trying to fire Eric Spoelstra out of Miami, but Pat Riley stood on his ground. He's like, no, I'm not coaching y'all. He's going to coach you guys. You guys are going to have to learn from him. And look how far that he coach has gotten. If Brooklyn had the same type of, just moxie and stood their ground like that, what could have Brooklyn been? Because Kenny Atkinson proved he's always been a good coach. And maybe he learned a lot more when he hung out with Steve Kerr. But I truly believe that he always had this within him. So that's all I wanted to say, because Kenny Atkinson deserves all his flowers.
Yeah, for sure. So with that being said, my next question, are the Cavs as good as they've been playing? Do we think they're really a threat to really take the Knicks and the Boston Celtics seriously, those top teams, even Orlando? Do you think they really can compete? Do we really think they can compete to beat any of those teams?
Well, they're 1-1 against the Celtics. They beat them. They played the Knicks once, so they're 1-0 against the Knicks. They're undefeated in the West. That's a big thing. The Bucks. I think when they played the Bucks, they caught the Bucks when they was lacking, when they was weak. But now the Bucks have played a lot better, and Philly has been non-existent. And then Orlando's they're getting their health back. Pablo Banchero's back. So I really want to see those matchups. I think this is going to come down to matchups. We'll see where the teams are towards the end of the season. If I doubt it, but somehow the Celtics were like the 4 seed, and if they play the Celtics in the second round, I think they're going to lose. I think the Knicks and them will probably go to a 7-game series. I think that's a coin flip in my opinion. If the Knicks are like the 3 seed, and then they're they'll play them in the Eastern Conference Final.
How do you think they match up against Orlando? Can't take them? Yeah. Well, they went to 7 last year against Orlando.
I was going to say, they went to 7 last year, and they got like a little rivalry forming between them two. So they would play like Orlando in the second round. I think they would get in trouble. I think they would beat the Pacers. I know the Pacers just won last game, but I think they'll beat the Pacers like 6. I don't think it will go 7. But I think Orlando will give them a fight.
Yeah,
because Banchero's that dude.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I agree with that.
So it depends on that. Everything's setting up for the Knicks and the Celtics to play in the second round. And
that's what I was going to say.
Its own little challenge.
Cavs is lucky that they're finding themselves at number one because they're obviously the number 1 seed. So that will set up a second round matchup against Orlando or the Bucks. I think are 5th.
But depending on if the Sixers get into the play-in, which I think they will, but they're like the 10th or the 9th seed. They have to obviously win that game and then win the second game, and they'll be the 8th seed. If it's the Sixers versus Cavs in the first round, that's a whole nother ball game.
Series. But yeah, that's a banger.
That's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah,
where that can go 7, and Embiid might put Jared Allen through a torture chamber. So that's just all depends on right there with that matchup right there.
That'll be a fire.
So it might be low key the Sixers' best bet to hover around 10 and 9 and hopefully get to the 8th seed. Okay, because I think they could take them. They don't want to play the Celtics in the first round. I'm the Sixers. We're just buying our time. You want to be the 8th seed, you get the Cavs, and then that's a whole. We'll see where that goes. 1 versus 8.
I agree. The Cavs is definitely doing it right. They're right now on the right side of the bracket. They don't got a matchup with the Knicks or the Celtics, so. I mean, Orlando still would be a tough matchup, but still. All right, we're gonna move on. We're taking a lot of time, so All-Star Weekend is coming up, right? I have this segment where I kind of want to just ask you and give your opinion. I already know the names, but you don't know the names. I'm just gonna go through a list of names, and I just want you to tell me whether these guys are gonna be All-Stars. You can give a little spiel if you want, and make their case. But all right. You ready for this? Because I already know the names. It's kind of like, so I'm a quiz you.
Hit me with it. I'm excited.
All right. So first on the list is Alfred Sengun.
Ooh, Sengun. I like
the West.
I like Sengun. The West, though. No.
First time All-Star? No. Okay. Kate.
But wait. Houston. Go ahead. Houston's a top 2 seed, right?
Top 3.
Houston is a top 2 seed. Right?
Yeah.
Top 3. You got to put somebody in Houston. Yes, I'm sorry. You got to get one of them in there. As the representative of Houston, it got to be him. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
I bet.
Off the bench, though.
Of course, yeah. Jokic and LeBron. And
last very last one.
It's 3. We can talk about the All-Star game another time. All right, Kate Cunningham.
No.
Kate Cunningham? No. Okay.
The guards are too stacked. That's to his fault. I felt bad for him, but the guards are too stacked.
I feel you, bro. I feel you, but I'm gonna disagree slightly because I feel like I think the Pistons right now. I think they're a top 8 seed right now. They're a top 8 seed. He has them playing well.
They're 19 and 18.
He has them playing well, and I think if they can maybe by All-Star break, if they could creep into that top 6, he might be a candidate. Okay. I'm gonna go Pablo Banchero.
No, he was hurt most of the season, so no.
There's too much time. Okay, I was gonna ask the minimum. I was gonna ask Franz Wagner as well, but did you think Franz Wagner, being that you just said that, do you think he was playing at an All-Star level before that though? For Franz Wagner,
both of them was on an All-Star level, 100%. But I think only Pablo would have made it, and not Franz.
Okay, I got
Franz would have been a fill-in. If one of the players was hurt, he would have been a fill-in.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Evan Mobley.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 1 seed. It's either going to be him or Donovan, and then they'll probably get 2. I think Cleveland will probably get 2. So yes.
Okay. Do you see any world of Cleveland getting 4? They have Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. Do you see all of them potentially making it?
Not Garland, but Allen, only because you could make the case that Carl's the center right now. So Carl will be the starting center. You can't put Embiid because Embiid don't play enough games. I don't care what anybody try to tell me. Embiid cannot be there.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what Bam's stats are, but you need another center. They'll probably have 2 centers in. So I would. So it would have to be Jared Allen. So
Bam's in
a perfect world, they could have 3.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero.
No.
No.
He'll never make All-Star game. Tyler Hero will never make All-Star game. No.
What?
And you know it too. I don't know why you.
What? No. Nah, he's been having a good season though. Like he's averaging 24 points. He's the leading scorer on the Miami Heat. I think this could have been his year. Who knows, man? But you said like it's a lot of guards. It's a lot of guards. It's a lot of people there. It's too many guards. All right, let's kind of let.
I'm cutting him will make it before he makes it.
Okay, I got you. Respect. I'm gonna go quicker just because time is running quick. Mikal Bridges.
No.
Okay. Jaylen Brown.
Yes.
Okay. Jaren Jackson. It's a tough one.
AD gotta get there.
Jokic, AD, Şengün,
AD, Jokic, LeBron, Şengün, Luka. They'll probably make a guard, but he might not even be healthy to be there. Come back to me with that. Give me. Okay. I gotta do a quick little research. Come back to me with that.
I got another tough one. Jalen Williams.
From OKC, yes. Yes.
Okay. Jalen Johnson.
No.
Okay.
Well, Trae Young will.
Trae Young will? Okay, I got you.
Jared Jackson, I am making the decision. Yes, he will be there.
Wow, what is that based off of?
I'm looking at the West right now. Oh, damn, never mind.
Memphis is 3, right?
I like to. Yeah, Grizzlies are 3. I want it, but then you have like legacy people. So like, even though Phoenix is not doing good, Kevin Durant got to be in there. Even though the Warriors are not doing good, Steph Curry got to be there. Even though the Spurs are like not in the playoffs, Victor Wembanyama got to be there. So that's like 3 people right there that has to be in there.
That's facts.
So Jared, and then you have AD, then you have LeBron, then you have Jokic.
Yeah, that's the lot.
Jalen Williams. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I would say he should be in there before they put Julia. So he might have like a slim chance. He's like one of the last ones to get in.
Okay. I agree. Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, he's been playing better. Yeah, he'll get in.
Okay. How about Siakam? It's a tough one.
You know what? Was Maxey an All-Star last year?
Maxey was an All-Star last year, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Siakam's gonna make it.
Okay. You got I don't have Maxey on the list. You got Maxey in it?
Yeah.
Maxey? Okay. You already answered Darius Garland. How about Scotty Barnes?
No, Toronto. They're too bad.
Okay, I was just about to ask RJ Barrett, but okay, you said no Toronto.
He's actually having a good season. He's actually having a really
good season. He's probably their best player, bro. Outside of Scotty Barnes, he's been having their best season. All right, 2 more.
Too many losses. 2
more. Derek White.
No, this ain't the Olympics. No.
Okay.
It's too many guards. It's too many guards.
My last one is OG Anunoby. Is he gonna make it?
No. The Knicks only get 2.
I bet.
They only get 2.
All right.
Carl and Jalen. Jalen's gonna come off the bench because right now Damian Lillard's leading to be the starting point guard, which I don't understand how, but I get it. Recency bias, people, star bias. But if I'm looking at real quick, just go off. Yeah, if I'm looking at the East Conference guards, it would be Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard. We gotta throw a couple of shooting guards in there.
LaMelo.
You do people love LaMelo. I don't understand why. I mean, he's a phenomenal player, but they don't win. But for star power, I guess LaMelo and Jalen
only
Brown.
Solely because he's a top 5 in scoring. That's my only reason.
But he don't do anything in terms of wins. I get he's a great scorer, but he don't bring nothing else to the table in terms of wins. Like, what's the point of being a great scorer if you're not bringing anything else? Like, he don't galvanize his teammates to win games.
Mm-hmm.
If he's really that dude, they will win games. And he don't galvanize the team doesn't get better with him.
Yeah. I'll be randomly watching Hornets games for some reason. I don't know why I'll be watching Hornets games, but I randomly do. Because LaMelo,
he's a great player.
But the Hornets are just
his
bad,
offensive
bro.
game they're just bad.
Yeah. They're just bad. Outside of LaMelo, they're just bad, bro. Yeah. All right, and that's all I got, bro. I want to also play another game with you real quick. It's called Basketball This or That. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen, right? And we're just gonna it's just gonna be a question. It's an opinion question. I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna show you what we got. All right. All opinion questions. Real quick. Hold on. Appreciate y'all being patient. Hold on. Let me see. I should have rehearsed this before we. All right, never mind. All right. Here we go. I'm not able to share my screen. I'm trying to figure that out. But I'm going to just ask you straight up. Okay?
All right. Let me hear.
So, first one being Pure Hoops. I have it on my phone. Pure Hoops. Who is the least skilled out of John Wall, Damian Lillard, or Shai Gilgeous? The least skilled.
John Wall, Damian Lillard, or Shai Gilgeous?
Yeah.
Least skilled? Ooh. You know what? This is going to be controversial. I'm going to say Shai Gilgeous.
Shai Gilgeous?
I think John Wall in his prime was a force to be reckoned with. He was the fastest player in the league.
Yeah. Okay. I probably would have won John Wall. Just because I just know
John Wall was no joke.
I know, but he just never really had a consistent jump shot. That's my only thing about John Wall. He's a great player, athletic.
He was caught in the times though. Those times was different.
Yeah. I feel you. That my reasoning is just because like he can't shoot as much. All right, next one.
But athleticism, John Wall.
Yeah, jumping out the rim, bro. Dunking on everybody, bro. I swear. All right, next one. This is another tough one. Who's the least skilled here? LeBron James, Jason Tatum, or Carmelo Anthony?
Jason Tatum.
Okay.
Jason Tatum. I don't know if you agree with me. I mean, Jason Tatum has been your boy since the Duke days. But I'm not saying LeBron's not that skilled.
LeBron, he's the lead. My thing is like LeBron, for him to be top in scoring and like top in minutes and everything, I just feel like you have to have some type of skill to be as great as he's been.
And to be honest, I think LeBron could average, if he really wanted to, like 15 assists per game if he wanted to.
If we were talking
that good of a passer.
If we were talking LeBron in his first stint with the Cavs, you could argue like, yeah, maybe LeBron, because he, again, not a consistent jump shot. I think skill, I think jump shooting is, when I think skill, I think jump shooting sometimes and dribbling and stuff like that. But I'm going to agree with you, Jason Tatum. All right. Least skilled, Kevin Garnett, Wembanyama, or Jokic?
Wembanyama. As of now, he's still young. He's only 20, so okay. He's only 20. But okay. I refuse to say Kevin Garnett is not as skilled as him.
Okay, I'm gonna have to agree with you right now.
I refuse.
Yeah. Or maybe if Wembanyama grows a little bit of muscle and stuff like that, and we really see his game.
Yeah,
because he nice, bro. That game, he really showed me some stuff. That Christmas Day game really showed me some stuff. I'm like, this man is gonna be unstoppable.
He's hitting some deep threes, but I refuse to, because in like 5 years from now, I will say Kevin Garnett. But at this moment, I refuse to put that disrespect on my boy KG.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. All right. Whew, this is a tough one. All right. Pure Hoops. Who's the least skilled guard? Kyrie Irving, Tracy McGrady, Dwayne Wade, or Oscar Robertson? I gotta add my boy Wade.
It's going to have to be least skilled.
Least skilled.
I gotta be.
Who?
Yeah.
You gonna say it? I know you're gonna say it.
Out of all these players on this list, he's actually my favorite player out of the list. But I'm gonna say Tracy McGrady.
Okay. I thought you was gonna say D Wade, and I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I thought you were gonna say D Wade. Okay. Tracy McGrady, I agree.
I'm not gonna disrespect D Wade. I would say Tracy McGrady. But golly, Tracy McGrady. I Oscar Robertson, for him to do what he did back in the day, I know he was skilled. And then Kyrie Irving, like I said, skill comes when he can shoot, he can handle everything. It has to be Tracy.
Okay, I got you. All right. Tracy. This season. So this question is for this season. Who's the worst guard this season? Steph Curry, Shai Gilgeous, or Cade Cunningham? This season.
They're all great guards. The worst guard, it gotta be, well, I can't say Shai. Shai's about to be MVP. And I think Steph Curry is carrying a Warriors team by himself. Cade just got a triple-double, literally last game. But I'm going to say Cade Cunningham because I would have said
Steph. Go ahead.
I know. His game is still phenomenal. It's just he don't got help with him.
Yeah, I feel you.
But if you put Steph Curry, if you put Steph Curry with the Pistons, they're a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Oh yeah, hands down.
And I don't feel the same way that is with the Warriors. I don't think you can put Cade with the Warriors and then they're a top 5. No, I think they're probably still where they are, or maybe even lower.
Okay, 3 dribbles max. Game 21. Who's winning? Cade Cunningham or CJ McCollum?
Are we talking about prime CJ McCollum or are we talking about older CJ McCollum? Like Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham's as big as him. No, I'm going Cade. Okay. He's as big as him. He's probably almost as strong as him. I'm going Cade.
I agree with that one.
Cade's a big guard.
Same question. 3 dribbles max. Who to 21? Who's winning? Chet Holmgren or Alperen Sengun? Sengun. If they're playing one-on-one, 3 dribbles max, I'm gonna say Sengun only because he has the weight on it, and I feel like Sengun will just bully Chet the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah. But then Chet got the length, but I feel like Chet gonna be injured by the end of the game. Chet gonna be bruised up, injured by the end of the game.
He's not banging with Sengun in the post.
Sengun's a bruiser for sure, so you know. All right, 3 dribbles max. We got a few more. This is kind of fun, so let's keep going. 3 dribbles max. 21. Who's winning? Carmelo or Scottie Pippen?
Carmelo's on a bang with Scottie. Carmelo's on a bang with Scottie.
Pippen, but his defense though.
He got great defense. But Melo's post game. Everybody says Melo is one of the hardest people to guard. Some people always say that. All the greats say Carmelo was the hardest person to guard, and because you're going to be hurt at the end of the game. He's a big body. He knows how to use his way around. I'm going Carmelo.
Okay, I got you. A few more. All right. Who's the worst defender here? The worst defender. Draymond. It's 4 players. Draymond, Rudy Gobert, Gary Payton, or Kawhi Leonard. The worst defender.
Rudy Gobert without a question.
Okay,
I don't even have to go into detail.
I agree, but to play devil's advocate, to be fair, because I feel like a lot of times Rudy Gobert gets a lot of he gets rightful hate too, but I feel like sometimes it gets dragged a little bit, partly because of Draymond and how much he talks about him. But I think my expectation with Rudy Gobert, because people was cooking him last year when he switched on to Luka and Luka hit that game winner over him, people was cooking him. But my thing is, we always knew Rudy Gobert was never considered an elite defender because of his ability to guard one-on-one, but more because of his.
Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that. How many defensive players of the year has he won now? I think he has 3.
Yeah.
I think he has 3 defensive players. No. Then you
I
got to
will
be
say
an
this
elite defender and all.
because also sometimes when I'm watching, because Minnesota was the number 1 seed last year, I like going based on that. Like, right. My other argument is that sometimes when I'm watching him play, Rudy Gobert last year when they were the number 1 seed was definitely the backbone of that defense. Like a lot of times, I could talk about the times that we played the Heat. I mean, the Heat played the. It's also the Heat too, but a lot of times the Heat played Minnesota last year, where it was just like it seemed like we would try every time we would try and get in the lane, Rudy Gobert would change the shot. So he has been effective from that standpoint on defense. Like his ability,
if
like
Victor Wembanyama was in, if Victor was in if Victor was in Rudy Gobert's position and switched on Luka Doncic, do you think Luka would have had a harder time scoring that point on him?
If it was Wemby, you said?
It was Wemby.
I mean, I feel like Luka would have cooked anybody in that situation, but I think Wemby would have handled that a lot better. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Exactly. You cannot say that he gets a lot of slack when you are I believe he has won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. 3.
Mm-hmm.
He has made All-Star games because he is supposed to be that defensive stout, that stalwart, that person. No.
Okay.
He's nowhere near as good as Scotty. He's nowhere near as good as Draymond, who could switch from 5 to 1. And who was the last person you said?
Kawhi. Gary Payton and Kawhi.
Yeah, he shouldn't even be in those conversations with those guys.
Nah, you're
right. I don't even think
he's
a top 5 all-time center, defensive center. I would put Wilt. I would put Dwight. I would almost put Marcus Hall ahead of him. I do not think Rudy. No.
Okay, I got you.
No.
Okay, I got you. All right, I'm gonna do two more before we move on to the next thing real quick. Let's say 3 dribbles max to 21. Who's winning? Your boy Cat or Yao Ming?
Cat versus Yao Ming?
Yeah.
No. You know I'm gonna say
go
right?
Cat. You're gonna go Cat. I know.
Hell no, I'm going Yao Ming.
Oh, you going Yao?
Yao Ming.
You going Yao?
Yao's a bucket, bro.
Yeah, he was a bucket. People
Yao's
forget.
7 foot. He was 7'6", banging on Shaq.
Yeah.
Like, if Yao was,
people if it wasn't for the injuries, man. If it wasn't for the injuries, man, he would have been a lot better. He would have been a lot better.
People do not
know a Hall of Famer yet?
Yao can. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He made a Hall of Fame.
Okay, word. Okay.
Yao can shoot threes. Yao was taller than everybody, and Yao was big. Yao wasn't like a small dude. Yao was a big dude. Like Yao was solid, and he could dribble. Nah, Yao was great.
Okay, yeah. This is a tough one, man. I'm gonna go Cat, man. Just to go Cat. The best offensive. Yao got the size, bro. I'm gonna have to go Yao, man.
Yao swatting all shots.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Yao. I'm gonna go Yao for sure. 3 dribbles max. Who to 21? Who's winning? Last one. The 2 number 15s from the Denver Nuggets, Carmelo Anthony versus Nikola Jokic. Who you got?
Melo. Is this a one-on-one game, Melo?
Yeah, Melo for sure. Jokic has the size, but
I would say Jokic. Yeah, I would say Melo. If he just had a ring, his all-time greatness would be completely different. People give him a lot more credit than what he deserves.
And people don't consider him that bad a good of a defensive player, but I don't think he's as bad. I think he gets more slack for being too much slack for being a not good defensive player.
I mean, young Melo was definitely defending with all of them. I mean, you think about the players he guarded. He had to guard Kobe. He had to guard LeBron. He was always with them. And then they had to guard him back. So,
yeah, that's why I'm like, this whole narrative about Melo not being a good defensive player, I don't believe it, bro. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't believe it at all.
I don't get it. And that's all I got for this or that. I want to do one more segment, if you don't mind, Mike. One more segment. You cool with that?
Yeah, I got problem.
I say that bad. So this next segment, right, that I always wanted to do, it's called Hall of Fame or not, right? It's just simply Hall of Fame or not, right? I'm gonna list out a list of players, and I'm just gonna ask whether some of these players are still playing, some of these players are retired. We got some coaches in here, we got some GMs, and we got some executives in here. All right. Hall of Fame or not? Oh, it's not up there. Oh, it's down there. Hall of Fame or not? Al Horford.
Yeah. I'll
He
make the
makes
Hall
Hall
of
of
Fame.
Fame. Okay.
He makes the Hall of Fame. Because people will have done less and made the Hall of Fame. He'll make the Hall of Fame.
Okay. And I think he just got that championship ring as well. He's been on a few all defensive teams. I'm pretty sure he was an all-star.
All defense. He's like a 3-time All-Star. He won a national championship with Florida. I think he won 2 national championships with Florida.
That's right.
So
yep.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm. All right. Blake Griffin.
No.
You got Al Horford over Blake Griffin?
Yep. You look at all Horford's his credentials. He 2 national championships with Florida. He has an NBA championship. Right. I believe he's a 3 to 4 time All-Star. That's a Hall of Famer.
You got it. Blake Griffin has the All-Stars. He has the dunks. He has the dunk
Blake
champion.
Griffin got like 6 All-Stars?
Yeah, he's been a dunk champion, winning the dunk contest. I feel like you can make a case for those. I don't know how many All NBAs he has. He has probably he has to have at least 1 All NBA. All right, Sam Presti, Hall of Famer?
No, because none of his teams has ever won a championship.
Okay, he built 2 dynasties. Well, we'll see if this team is a dynasty, and we'll see what happens. But if this team can win the chip.
He has 2 runs with the Thunders, right? And with the Thunder, he at one point had Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, Steven Adams, and they never won a championship.
That's true. And he traded away the who else? Deion Waiters at
never won a championship. And then now he's again forming another good team. But again, what's the point of having all these draft picks if you're not going to give someone to put you over the edge? Because eventually you have to pay Chet, you have to pay Shea, you have to pay this person, you have to pay all these people. So what's the point of having draft picks if you want to pay these players? So no.
That's true. All right, we're going to switch it up. Eli Manning.
Hall of Famer, 100%.
Yes, sir.
100%. He beat Tom Brady twice. He's a Hall of Famer. Any person who doesn't want to give it to him is just being petty.
I agree, man. I agree. Jamal Crawford.
No.
Okay.
No. Great
Robert
player,
Horry.
Not a Hall.
Robert Horry.
Big Shot Bob not in the Hall of Fame yet?
Nah, he's nominated this year, though. He's nominated this year.
He is nominated?
Yeah. I don't know if he gets in though. He has a lot of. I don't know if you've seen the Hall of Fame. He has like nominees. He does, and he hit the big shot against who was it? The Kings or Portland? The Kings.
He scored Big Shot Bob for a reason.
Yeah, big facts. Bob. Oh. I think he's nominated this year, but I don't know if he's going to get it because there's mad players that.
Well, he's not getting in this year. He might get in. I don't know if there's like a limit of how many years you can be in, because certain sports you have a limit and then you're off the ballot going forward. Mm-hmm. So I think he'll get in like his last year.
Yeah, he'll get in.
I think his very last year he'll get in.
Because you can't think about that Laker dynasty without thinking about him.
Big Shot Bob.
Yes, sir. Bob Myers. Speaking of Bob Myers, the Golden State old GM.
Yeah, he'll get him.
Okay.
He makes that at some point in his career.
Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to him too.
Okay. Obviously not first ballot, but he'll make it at some point. DeMar DeRozan.
He'll make it at some point. No.
Nah. Will you give it to Kyle?
No.
Over DeMar?
Well, Kyle Lowry got an NBA championship.
Oh, that's true.
So Kyle Lowry's accomplishments: he has an NBA championship. He's a 6-time NBA All-Star, and he was one time in 2016 All NBA 13.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Um, who's the all-time leading scorer for Toronto? Is that I think it might be
I
DeMar. I
wouldn't be.
don't know.
It
Let me
might be
see.
DeMar DeRozan. To be quite honest.
I think DeMar might get in there at some point. Okay, Eric Spoelstra.
100%.
Okay, yeah, obviously
That there is no question.
that was the easy one.
He 100% deserves it.
I got 3 more for you. Ray John Rondo.
Rondo, he is an NBA championship. No, I'm looking at DeMar DeRozan stats. I'm not gonna lie, he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think just for what he
He's a
did with
6-time
Toronto.
All-Star.
Just for what he did with Toronto.
6-time All-Star, 2-time. He was a 2-time All-NBA second team and a 1-time All-NBA third team.
Okay, and he's the leading scorer for Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rajon Rondo. No, Rondo. He was important for that Celtics dynasty. I didn't know Rondo won 2 championships. Yeah, I'm looking at stats. Yeah, Rondo was 2-time NBA champion, 4-time NBA All-Star, 1-time All-Third team, 2-time All-Defensive first team, 2-time All-Defensive second team. He led the NBA in assists 3 times, and he led the NBA in steals.
He has to be in the top.
That's Hall of Fame.
10 in assists. He has to be. Okay.
Yeah,
right,
Rondo's Hall of Fame.
All right, I'm gonna start with 2 more. These are tough ones too. LaMarcus Aldridge.
No.
Nah, I agree with that one. All right, and Andre Iguodala.
Yes, because Iguodala's stats are ass. Because Iguodala, if we're, I gotta be fair. If we're gonna put Vince Carter in the Hall of Fame, then we gotta put Iguodala in the Hall of Fame.
Okay,
because Iguodala's career stats are probably is better than Vince Carter's. In my opinion, it's probably better.
Okay, I got you. So, all right, quick question, one more. And this is just off a whim, just thinking. Jrue Holiday, is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He won a championship last year.
He'll make it at some
point. All defensive teams. Probably not first ballot, but he'll make it at some point.
Not first ballot, but
I bet. And that's all I got, man. I think this is a good time to end it, Mike. It was good meeting with you today. We had a good show. And I'm excited for the next one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate all the fans at home who tune in every time we post. Continue to post. Comment under the video. And follow us on Instagram as well. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
Yes. Keep supporting.
Yes, sir.